What's up, world? It's Friday, another week, another challenge, and today we're going to be previewing our stressful ass Las Vegas Raiders versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, after that terrible loss last week, I know a lot of us Raider fans, especially me, had a hard time getting through that game. And I know that this week, our head coach, the head honcho of this team, Josh McDaniels, has came out and said sorry to the Raidernation.
I apologize to Raidernation for that performance.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
All I know is that if we don't beat the Jacksonville Jaguars this weekend, I swear,
I wanna kill my mom. I wanna kill my dad. I wanna kill my grandma.
Okay, I'm just joking with you guys, Raider Nation. But before we do get started with this pre-game preview, a word from our sponsor. I do want to let you guys know, if you guys are going to go to the game this weekend or any other Raiders game this year, then I want to let you guys know about the Game Time app. If you're looking for some cheap last-minute tickets for the Raider game or just any other events, then this is the app for you. Not only do they provide great prices, but when you're looking for tickets, they show you your exact view from your seat. Use my promo code SamoaRaider to get $20 off your first order of $150 or more.
And you tell them one thing, just win, baby.
Now, y'all already know the deal, man. We can't start no pre-game preview without giving you guys some nation news that you can use. First things first, I want to talk about some sad news that came out yesterday. Raiders legend and the only punter inducted into the Hall of Fame, Ray Guy, has passed away at the age of 72. Ray Guy was drafted in the 1973 NFL Draft with the 23rd overall pick. Of course, only Al Davis would draft a special teams player in the first round, but hey, at the end of the day, it really paid off. Guy would go on to win 3 Super Bowls with the LA and Oakland Raiders. I just wanted to give my respects to one of the best to ever don the silver and black. You guys already know the motto, once a Raider, always a Raider, man. My prayers go out to Ray Guy's family and friends. Now, in some other news, it seems like our quarterback, Derek Carr, has been dealing with some back injuries, especially in that last game, and he was put on the injury report this week, which could explain why he played the way he did against the Saints. But then again, he has come out this week and said that he's feeling much better than he did a week ago.
I'm not feeling great, but it's part of the game, and it's never an excuse. As soon as you allow it to be an excuse, then you're like, well, it's okay. Like, it's never okay. It would take a lot for me to not be on the field. It has to not work for me to not be out there.
So we'll see if McDaniels decides to play him this week, which I'm sure he will. Now, after a tough loss in New Orleans, our Las Vegas Raiders head over to Duval to face the Jacksonville Jaguars. Both teams looking to get back into the win column, and it seems like we've been down this road before. The Raiders going through a rough week after taking an L, hoping to bounce back. But this time, by far being the worst, getting shut out 24-0. Everything that could go wrong for the Raiders went wrong for them in week 8.
That right there is embarrassing, and that should never happen. It sucks that we went through it. It happened.
But this week is a new week, and hopefully the early trip to Jacksonville gave this team some much needed time to get over last week's loss and prepare for this week's game versus the Jaguars. If Derek Carr is able to go this week, he will need to step up and have a much better outing than he did versus the Saints. But then again, he ain't the only one. The team as a whole has got to be better from top to bottom. Devontae Adams will need to get more involved early on. The offensive line will need to open up more holes for Josh Jacobs. Defense will need to put some pressure on Trevor Lawrence, and McDaniels has got to be that offensive guru that we all expect him to be and be able to outcoach Doug Peterson like he did in the preseason. Though this matchup on paper seems to favor the Raiders, we've quickly learned that it's any given Sunday, especially after last week's game. The Jaguars are coming into this game looking to get a win and stay alive in the AFC South. Trevor Lawrence is coming off of a tough performance versus the Broncos with only 133 yards passing and 2 interceptions. But good thing for the Jags, like the Raiders, they have a weapon in the backfield that can take the load off of Lawrence and Travis Etienne. ETN. ETN is definitely going to be someone the Raiders defense will have to keep their eye on, coming off of a career game where he rushed for 156 yards and a touchdown. Overall, both teams will have to bring their A game if they want to keep their seasons alive. One thing's for sure though, the nation hasn't forgot the last time these two teams have met in the regular season back in 2019 for the last game in Oakland. Let's just hope that this time the Raiders can come out on top and
Just win, baby.
Now, Raider Nation, I want to take a moment to sell out to you guys real quick, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let my oos, Sam Owens, take care of that for me.
Yo, Raider Nation, I know that you guys been through a lot this week, especially starting the season off 0-2, but I'm here to let you guys know about something that'll cheer your weekend up. Woodson Bourbon Whiskey. Shout out to my guy, Charles Woodson, and Woodson Bourbon Whiskey. If you guys are trying to look for something to sip the pain away, drink responsibly, then head over to WoodsonWhiskey.com to find a bottle near you or have it shipped directly to your door. Because I know for a fact, win, lose, or draw, Woodson Bourbon Whiskey gonna be there for you.
Now for my matchup of the game, I have the battle of the backs between Josh Jacobs and Travis Etienne. Now, there is no secret that both of these offenses rely heavily on the production of their running backs. Josh Jacobs has been on fire, having over 140 yards rushing in the previous 3 games, but then he came back down to earth last week with only 43 yards. Now, it probably didn't help that he only had 10 carries. As for Etienne, it took some time to get going this season, but after the Jags traded away James Robinson, he has been able to find his groove, having back-to-back 100-yard games. Etienne seems to be the main workhorse in the backfield, so like I've said before, he will be someone to watch out for in this week's game. Luckily enough for the Raiders, their run defense has been solid this year, not allowing a single 100-yard rusher. But the Jags, on the other hand, have held up their own against the run as well, only giving up 100 yards to a single rusher 2 times this season. This will still be a challenge for both Josh Jacobs and Travis Etienne, so it'll come down to who has a better game. Can Josh Jacobs bounce back after a subpar performance, and can Travis Etienne continue his reign of terror? Find out
Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
I got the keys now.
Now for my 3 keys to the game. It seems like the Raiders did not follow any of the keys that I had in last week's game, but hopefully they can do that this week against the Jacksonville Jaguars, because we all know that we desperately need a win this week. I mean, we did last week, but we lost, so hopefully they can turn it around and get a win this week. Anywho, key number 1 is having better execution on offense.
More than anything, I want better execution. I want better fucking execution.
Now, I can't stress this enough, but our offense has definitely got to be better than they were last week. And I'm looking at Josh McDaniels as the play caller, and I'm looking at Derek Carr as our signal caller. I mean, these 2 guys are supposed to be the guys to lead this offense into greatness. I mean, there should be no reason why our offense should be scoring 0 freaking points. So hopefully they can come into this game and start scoring a whole grip of points to make up for last week, because it seemed like this team did not even show up last week. I mean, if you told me it was a bye week last week, I would probably believe you. Now I get it. I understand. Derek Carr was going through a bit of an injury in last week's game. He had a little owie in his back, his neck and his back.
My neck and my back.
But if he's going to be playing in this week's game, I'm going to need Derek Carr to go out there and play his best. I don't need no excuses out there. And if he's not 100%, we shouldn't be playing him this week. Let Jarrett Stidham go out there and play, and let Carr rest to come back stronger next week, because we don't want anything to happen to Derek Carr, right? He's our number 1 quarterback right now, so we're going to need him for the rest of the season. I just know for a fact that the Derek Carr that we seen last week is not the quarterback that we need to see this week. I mean, he's coming off of his worst performance this year, going 15 for 26, 101 yards, and an interception. Like I said, he needs to step up, and he needs to make plays out there. I want this dude to look like Marcus Mariota out there running all over the backfield and trying to extend plays, man. No excuses. On top of that, there should be no reason why Devontae Adams should be only having 1 reception in this game. We got to get him started early and often. And I can't talk about this offense and Derek Carr without talking about this offensive line. They're going to need to step up in this game and keep Derek Carr clean, because guys, y'all already know, man. If Derek Carr gets touched out there, man, he's going to look like Happy Feet out there. And we definitely do not need Happy Feet Derek Carr this Sunday. So if the offensive line can't do that this week, then we definitely taking an L against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, key number 2 is apply pressure. Now, I don't know what the hell this pass defense has been doing, especially last week against the Saints. I mean, they was horrible out there. Straight dog water. I mean, there's a reason why we're ranked 31st against the pass. My, oh my. It seems like our secondary couldn't do shit out there to stop anybody. And on top of that, our defensive line couldn't cause any kind of pressure on Andy Dalton. Like, no pressure at all. Andy Dalton tore up our defense, basically having 229 yards passing and had 2 touchdowns. So if we want to have any chance of winning this week's game, we got to apply some pressure to second-year quarterback Trevor Lawrence. I know he's a young quarterback, up-and-coming quarterback, but he's still going to be one of those quarterbacks that if you put pressure on him, he's going to make mistakes. So I'm expecting our pass defense to do a much better job in this game. Now, the third and last key to this game is starting fast. I know that I sound like a broken record, but obviously this is a must-win game for our Raiders. And after coming off of a horrible game like we did last week against the New Orleans Saints, where we only scored 0 points, this team is definitely going to need all the momentum that they can get in this game early on. So that means scoring on the very first drive and keeping that same energy throughout the game from start to finish. We need to take the lead, keep the lead, and head back to Las Vegas with a W. With that said, Raider Nation, what is your game score prediction and who are you guys looking forward to watching in this game? For me, it's our quarterback, Derek Carr. You know, he's been getting a lot of criticism as of late, especially after that horrible performance that he showed in New Orleans last week. So I want to see how he bounces back this week. Looking at the NFL expert picks for this week 9 matchup, the Raiders are favored 8-2. But I've said it before and I'm gonna say it again. It's any given Sunday. So the Raiders need to go out there and handle business. All right, Raider Nation, that is all I have for you guys today. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button. If we could get this video to 1,000 likes, and also if we can reach 40,000 subscribers by this Sunday, then I will be giving away 2 autographed jerseys. One Trayvon Merrick jersey and a Cleveland Farrell jersey. So all you guys got to do is hit that subscribe button and hit that notification icon button and get us to 40,000 subscribers. Until the next video, this is your boy Simone Raider, and your boy is
Started off in Oakland, now we here. Thought that we was done, we just hit another gear. Look, started off in Oakland, now we here. Hey, pull up with the nation in the silver black gear. Look, 4 games straight, we in the playoffs. Shout out to the Chargers fans, y'all enjoy the last.